Okay, it's the video for the latest Moondrop. It's called the Aria Snow Edition. So this is obviously a very, very, very close relative to the Aria. And that's not a bad thing because the Aria was quite popular. I was not a fan. I do like this set better than the original. Let's get that right off in case you saw the thumbnail and thought, oh, he's going to jump on this. No, I just thought that was kind of clever. And I'm having fun because Mark from Super Views does great thumbnails and I can't do what he does because I don't have time. That's a lie. I just don't have the skills, so I do my own thing. Let's migrate slowly to the left and take a look at the frequency response graph. I would think, just by looking at the target, that the red one, the audio, would be more suited towards my listening, and that would be wrong because I actually think that the Aria Snow is audibly a superior set. I wish it had more bass. I could adjust it if I chose to. If we're just talking about sound quality, I think that the Aria contains a better driver, and it's quite clear to me. So let's look at this real quick. You got a slightly rolled sub bass. Bass is peaking at the mid bass. It glides into the mids, and then you've got a pretty typical Moondrop type tuning. Nothing radically different going on here. Roll back slowly again. A couple things of note for people that are fans of the Aria. The cable that came with the Aria had a fabric on it, or has a fabric, and it's a fail point. A lot of them frayed and feathered, became a problem. Some people just don't like it. It's very unwieldy. It doesn't wind up really well compared to other stuff like that one right there. Microphonics was an issue for some people. I didn't have that problem. I just didn't like the cable. This cable is an upgrade. It's kind of like a Litz, and it's quite thin. It rolls up quite easily. You've probably seen this on lots of different sets recently. It seems to be quite popular. Another smart thing, this Moondrop Velcro right here, it just comes off. It's not one of those ones got the extra hook. Those are the bane of my... I've had things like nice new shirts where these things get hooked on and then you rip it off and it's like, goddamn. So you can get rid of that very easily, and it's a better cable. So that's an upgrade. The shell itself is an absolute identical shell as the original Aria with some nice little etching and artwork on it. It's got the tune ports at the exact same point, looks like the same mesh at the top. No problem with that, being a guy that did collaboration Melee and Olena, and it's essentially the same shell with the driver slightly adjusted and then different caps on the outside and different colors. So I did what they did. Why not? The important thing is what's inside, and I think this is a DLC driver. Diamond-like, yeah, this is a DLC driver, and I believe the original Aria was a LCP. A lot of people were booming on the LCP because Sony used the LCP. I really didn't like how this sounded, particularly in the treble. And this has a much nicer presentation of the treble. It's got the harmonic overtones without that little bit of grain. I guess if you understand what I'm saying, you do. And if you don't, you don't. So don't worry about it and stick on it. If you like this set, enjoy. If you like this and you're wondering, should I switch? If you like this, I think this is an upgrade. If you have this and you lost it and you think, should I get this again or should I get this? I would definitely recommend getting the Snow Edition because it sounds cleaner. There's obviously a good driver inside here, and I've talked about this in previous videos. You can sometimes hear the quality of a driver when it's not being leaned on too heavily. It's got less mid-bass. And this actually sounds like a nice driver. So in its price range, if you already thought that this was a good set, I would think that this is probably a better one. For viewers of my channel that are familiar with how I like things, I think that this presents bass in a too overly polite way for me. I would prefer a little more energy in the low end, but it's got a clean driver, and the adjustments that I would make would be minimal, and it would be a shelf from maybe 350, 300, lift it up a little bit, and then roll it back, and then keep it steady, and then I'd be fine with the whole rest of the thing. But there's a Vulcan right there. And my one nitpick on it is that it lacks a little bit of slam on drums and pulls and releases on bass guitars, like a lot of stuff that I talk about. And I gave that a really high rating, and I will in the review. But what's its weak point? I wish it had a little more energy. And that's a theme on my channel because everybody knows I like low energy. Having said that, next to Tupac is, above him is Hendrix, and then to the right is Pink Floyd. So I really want to hear percussions and bass guitars in a way that I feel is an authentic replay. This, like a lot of stuff that I highlight on my channel and sometimes like, is a little bit lacking there, but you can adjust that at your leisure. If you require out of the box and you want some more punch, this won't be the set that you'd pick, and I don't think anybody's going to do a review and say otherwise. It's not a punchy set, but it is clean, and it is an upgrade over this, and it's not a side grade. So I had some fun with that picture because I just like it and I kind of made it myself. The artwork I kind of gathered and put together, but it's not same face really. It's same face in the visual sense, the shell, a different color, but it is a different internal driver, and it is slightly tuned different, and it is an improvement over that one. So instead of going straight sideways, I think they did go up a little bit. So that is the Moondrop Aria Snow Edition. I think it does the low end a little bit lighter than I'd prefer. I think the mids are fine, and I think the treble's fine. I think the treble is a notable improvement over the original Aria. Nice stuff. Thank you to Hi-Fi Go for sending this. I appreciate that, and I will link below, and I'll see you guys soon. And I'm out. Why is he not wearing gloves? Because he doesn't think that these are worthy? No, I had a tooth fixed, and I had to not do training for a few days, but I'm going to start training today, so the gloves will go back on. It's got nothing to do with this. That actually now, white gloves, snow, missed a chance. Next time. And I'm out.